Hey, my name is Staff Sergeant Carter, and I'm the Unit Training Manager over at the 366th Maintenance Squadron at Mountain Home Air Force Base, and today I'm going to be giving you your Unit Training Manager Orientation Briefing. This briefing is required by AFI 3626-51 within 60 days of your arrival on station for active duty members, or within 90 days for Air Reserve Component members. Today we're going to be going over a couple different things. First, what is training and what does that mean? We're going to be going over the CFETP, what that is, and how it can help you and benefit you. We're going to be going over the roles and responsibilities of different people within the upgrade training process, the criteria that is needed to be awarded the next skill level, and we will also be slightly touching on the CDC program. Let's get into it. What is training? Well, first, let's define training. There are actually two types of training. The first one being upgrade training, which is the training to qualify airmen for the award of a skill level. Upgrade training increases skills and knowledge beyond the levels previously acquired. The second kind of training is qualification training, which is hands-on performance training designed to qualify a trainee in a specific duty position. This can be accomplished in conjunction with upgrade training, after upgrade training, or at any time that the training is necessary. So next, let's talk about the CFETP, that long acronym. What does that mean? Well, the CFETP is the Career Field Education and Training Plan, which is a two-part comprehensive education and training document that identifies life cycle education and training requirements, training support resources, and the minimum task requirements for a specific AFSC. So now that you know the definition of the CFETP, I would like to show you how to access your CFETP. So if you go to the portal and you search for EPUBs, click on this, click on the Publications and Forms tab, then in the Search Products bar, search for your AFSC with the X where the skill level would go. So for example, I will use 2A3X3, the X being the skill level. Hit search, and then here you'll see three different products. This is the main CFETP, and then these down here where it says C1 and C2, these are different changes to the CFETP, so you can click on those for additional information to see what has been changed. But for the main CFETP, you'll want to click on this product, and then from here you can download it to your desktop so you can look at it, or you could look at it in just the web view. Now that you know how to access your CFETP via the portal, let's actually get into the CFETP and look what's in there. So do you remember how I said it's a two-part comprehensive document? Well, in the part 1 of the CFETP, it contains all information necessary for overall management of the Air Force specialty, and some of those sections in the part 1 might include the purpose of the CFETP, how to use the CFETP, career field progression, duties and responsibilities, training strategies, career field path, CDC requirements, CCAF degree information and requirements, skill level training requirements for the 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 level, resource constraints, and any other information that might be applicable to your specific Air Force specialty. One of the really cool things that are in a lot of CFETPs, not all of them, but most, are the career field path, which will show something similar to this picture, where it has the different ranks, what the average time in service are for each rank, the different positions you could get at that rank, the PME that correlates to the rank. It also shows any broadening experience, such as special duties that you could do in each position. I would definitely recommend going to your CFETP and seeing if this is in your CFETP, because it has a lot of cool information for you. Part 2 of the CFETP contains the duties, tasks, technical references to support training, Air Education Training Command conducted training, core task, and correspondence course requirements. It also has support materials, a training course index, and MAJCOM unique training requirements. As you're scrolling through the part 2 of your CFETP, you might notice this long list of tasks with a bunch of different numbers and letters all over the place, and it looks kind of confusing, but if you take a look at the proficiency code key, which will be above this task listing, you will start to understand what those codes are talking about. The proficiency code key identifies to what level the trainee will be taught to, and to what level they will be trained to perform the stated tasks. Also, the subject knowledge levels addressed may not necessarily be related to specific tasks, but foundational information. The subject knowledge level indicator is informational, whereas the task knowledge levels are more about to what level the task can be performed. Also on this task listing, you will see that there will be core tasks that are annotated, such as this one. This would be a 5-level core task, and any asterisk in this column would be a 7-level core task. Also, some CFETPs will also annotate deployment tasks. So I would look at your specific CFETP to see if there are deployment tasks on there. Also, I should note there are 2 kinds of tasks. The first is the core tasks, which are the minimum tasks that are required by the career field manager to receive a 5 or 7 level. The second kind of task is a qualification task, which is any task that is required to be fully qualified in a duty position. Trainees will have 24 months to complete these qualification tasks after being upgraded to a 5 or 7 level. Before we get into the roles and responsibilities of those in the training program, I'd like to talk to you real quick about the Air Force Enlisted Classification Directory, or AFECD. This document has a ton of great information on your AFSC that is really good to know, so I would encourage you to check it out. Some different things that it shows is a summary of the AFSC, the different duties and responsibilities, any specialty qualifications, any required training that is necessary for upgrading to the next skill level. Also, it'll tell you about any specialty shred-outs that this AFSC may have. You can find this document on MyPERS. If you type in AFECD into the search bar, it'll pop up and then you can download it. If you're having issues finding this, get with your unit training manager and we will help you locate it. Next, I'd like to go over the different roles and responsibilities of individuals who are involved in the upgrade training process. First is the unit commander. The unit commander is responsible for overall unit mission accomplishment through the training program. They establish controls to ensure that the training is actually meeting the mission requirements. And they also evaluate the trainee's potential to progress in upgrade training. Next is the unit training manager. They are appointed by the unit commander to oversee all training issues. They serve as the focal point for all training within the unit. They indoctrinate all unit personnel on the concept, scope, and objectives of training, such as what we're doing right now. The UTM also assists in scheduling training. They also initiate the Air Force Form 623 or electronic equivalent and provides to the supervisor. The 623 that it's talking about is the training records, such as TBA, after, or the new system that's coming out is TFTR, TFTR, which you might already have depending on when you're watching this video. They also conduct formal and informal assistance visits to sections and work centers to see if there's any training needs that need to be met. Next is the supervisor's role. The supervisor develops a master training plan, which will be in your training records. This master training plan includes a master task listing, the CFETP we were just looking at, an Air Force job qualification standard or a local job qualification standard, and it also has milestones identifying the projected time frame in which trainees should be accomplishing their required tasks. The supervisor is also supposed to perform an initial evaluation of trainee qualifications within 60 days of assignment. They also maintain the Air Force 623 or electronic equivalent, so training records. They counsel the trainee if there's any problems that occur with their training. They ensure that the trainee at a minimum meets all mandatory requirements as defined in the AFECD, CFETP, CDCs, and also the Air Force JQS. Then, when the trainee meets all their mandatory requirements, the supervisor will then recommend that the unit training manager initiates their upgrade action. Next is the trainer/certifier role. The trainer or certifier plans, conducts, and documents training. They're the ones actually teaching the actual equipment or training aids, and evaluates that training and certifies qualifications. They provide training feedback to the trainee and supervisor. And they also use established training evaluations, tools, and methods. They also may determine the trainee's abilities and the training program effectiveness. They can also develop evaluation tools, and they can identify the trainee's strengths and areas needing improvement. Also, the trainer and supervisor may be the same person. However, the certifier must be a third party other than the trainer or supervisor. Now for your role as the trainee. First things first, you should actively be participating in the training process. You should understand the applicable CFETP and career path, which we just talked about. You should maintain knowledge, qualifications, and the appropriate skill level. You should become a productive member of the unit and work center through task certification. Request help from a supervisor, trainer, or the unit training manager if you're having trouble with your training. Budget on and off-duty time to complete training tasks, particularly for CDCs or other self-study requirements. You should also know that task knowledge is needed to perform specific tasks and is gained by studying technical references. Career knowledge is gained through a planned program of self-study involving CDCs or other training references listed in your specific CFETP. Next, let's talk about what you actually need to be awarded your next skill level. First, you need to meet minimum time requirements. Some AFSCs have a 12-month minimum time requirement. Other AFSCs have no time requirement. If you do not know your minimum time requirement, get with your supervisor, or you can actually look on MyPERS and find that guidance. Also, you need to have your knowledge training complete. Most of the time that is CDCs, but it also might be different study references that will be listed in your CFETP. You need to have any job qualifications complete, which would satisfy the training requirements for a duty position. Also, you need to have any mandatory requirements complete before you will be awarded your skill level, and those requirements would be listed in the AFECD. You also need to have your supervisor's recommendation for upgrade. And then finally, the unit commander or a designated representative will have to approve your upgrade. After all these requirements have been accomplished, you will be awarded your next skill level. You may have noticed that I mentioned CDCs are a part of the criteria for getting your next skill level. Some career fields require CDCs as knowledge-based training for the trainees to be awarded their 5 or 7 level. Your unit training manager should identify if you require CDCs when you are first in process to your unit. If you are still unsure, ask your supervisor if your career field requires CDCs. If you do require CDCs, you will have an additional comprehensive briefing that will cover all aspects of the CDC program. Well, this concludes the Unit Training Manager Orientation Briefing. If you have any questions, please reach out to your supervisor or your Unit Training Manager. Thank you for your time and good luck with your upgrade training.